Welcome to the Hank Cisco Show, ladies and gentlemen. Don't touch that dial. Very important program we have here today. You know, this is going to be talking about life. You know, where they say life is sweet, tender, and complete. So, my guests today are here with a mission, helping people. I mean, I can't think of a better way, or a more sacred way, or whatever word you want to use for helping people. But this is, I guess, one of the most, what shall I say? One of the nicest things can happen when someone shares their life with you. So whenever you need help, whether it be the heart, the lung, and we're going to talk about that, okay? And I have some people here that have been received this help, and they're going to talk about their experiences, how they first got the feeling that something was wrong, and the doctor diagnosed what help was needed, what had to be replaced. I guess just like when you go to a garage to get your car tuned up a little bit. So maybe this is a tune-up, So, but everything is working. They put new parts in there, and the motor's still running. So keep bobbing and weaving through life. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce my guest today, who is going to explain all about this. Okay, so. And like I do in Madison Square Garden, I'll say, in this corner, and her name is?
Vanessa DeVert.
All right, and tell us what you do, what's your title?
Great, thank you, Hank. Thanks for
having
us
today. Talk loud
today.
now, because my hearing aid's not working.
I forgot. My name is Vanessa DeVert. I'm the Multicultural Outreach Coordinator for Gift of Life Donor Program. We are the local organ procurement organization, so essentially we do education about the importance of organ and tissue donation, as well as we help coordinate organ transplants within the southern New Jersey area, eastern Pennsylvania, as well as all of Delaware.
But in other words, what we're talking about here today is we're giving you some live experience what people have, right?
Absolutely.
And we're asking other people to be ready to help donate. Is that what we're talking about?
Essentially, yes. The importance of today's message is, number one, we want to talk about some of these myths that people have about organ and tissue donation. They don't believe that, their next door neighbors and the average person gets an organ. A lot of times people believe in their head that only the rich, the famous, those who are very high in society get organ transplants. So we want to put a very natural spin on it and show you real faces of people like Alexis here, who's from our local community, who has received a life-saving organ transplant. So we're going to talk about the importance of this topic, and then you're going to hear some live testimonies from people who have been touched by organ transplants.
Right. Okay. And now, how do you become a donor? What's the scoop on that?
How do you become an organ donor? It's very simple. Can I tell you a little bit about Gift of Life before we do that?
Yeah, I want you to. What do you think I got you on the program for?
This guy. So, Gift of Life Donor Program.
Pay attention now. Go ahead.
We are the local organ procurement organization. So we are one of 56 organizations like this in this country who operate to, again, help coordinate organ transplants within the country. So within all of the 56 OPL, we really work like brother and sister organizations. There's no competition. We all have the same mission, which is to help get people off of the waiting list. Currently there's
a waiting list, right?
There is. There's a national waiting list managed by the United Network of Organ Sharing, and nationally there's over 113,000 people who are waiting for organs.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Now, all right. Now, what type? We got heart, lungs,
kidney, liver.
Ooh.
Liver.
Liver.
Liver too. So
what else?
There's 6 organs that can be transplanted from a deceased donor. So we mentioned 4 of them already, I believe, and your stomach and pancreas are the other 2. So of course you have 2 kidneys and you have 2 lungs. So
you can work with one, though, right? Some people give.
There is living donation, but today we're going to focus on deceased donation. There are living if you wanted to donate an organ while you're still here, you can donate a kidney as well as a lung.
All right.
And you can function at 100% with one of those organs.
All right.
Okay?
In this corner over here, we have what a good-looking girl. Huh? Put that camera on her. Right, get a nice close-up.
Thank you.
And your name is?
Alexis Sloan.
Okay, and you are
I'm a heart recipient.
Right, and how old were you when you received that?
I was 26 years old.
You were 26 when you received that. Okay.
Yes.
Now, tell me, what was the feeling when you felt that something was wrong? You wasn't hitting on all cylinders. You know, same thing
Yeah,
with me. You know, I have a what do you call it, pacemaker. You know,
Yes.
so I wasn't hitting on all cylinders. Now the pacemaker keeps going.
Yeah.
Now tell me, what was your feelings when you first knew something was wrong and the doctor diagnosed whatever?
Definitely.
Tell me what happened.
I was just like tired all the time. I was excessively thirsty. I mean, I could like sleep for 10 hours and still be.
You would sleep?
Yeah, I would still be tired after sleeping for 10 hours. So, you know, that was like some of the first signs. Then I had like a dry cough, and I really didn't know like what exactly was going on. So, you know, a couple of months went by with a dry cough and fatigue and weight gain, which wasn't one of my favorite things. And I just began to feel nauseous. And one day I was getting ready for a party, and I blacked out, and I fainted and fell out. And yeah.
And so what happened then?
When I finally came to myself, my boyfriend took me to the hospital, and they diagnosed me with heart failure, and I also had a clot in each lung. So yeah, I was walking around like a time bomb, pretty much.
You had a double header.
Yes, yes. So they diagnosed me with familial dilated cardiomyopathy, which is pretty much, in layman's terms, advanced heart failure.
Right.
Yeah.
And
So,
what hospital?
I was at Hahnemann University
Philadelphia,
Hospital.
Yeah. And so now that was how long ago?
They diagnosed me with heart failure in 2002. And yeah, so I tried to, you know, have therapies by medicine, taking a lot of medicine. It was only like 36 pills a day. Yeah, and that didn't work. So eventually they put an AED in me, which is what you have, a pacemaker.
Yeah. You had one too? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah?
Yep. And they put an AED in me, and then I had that for 2 years, and then they put LVAD, a left ventricular assist device, which is what Congressman and President,
Vice President.
Vice President, sorry, Dick Cheney had.
Yeah.
And I
You
had
think
that
you're
for like
gonna run? Well,
2.5 years, yeah.
Huh?
I had the LVAD for like 2.5 years
You think
before.
maybe you run for Vice President now that you have that?
No, nothing like that.
No, well, you know, you look good. I mean,
Thank you.
you know, thank God, you know,
Thank you.
he had something to do with it too,
Oh,
I guess.
he had everything to do with it.
Prayers,
Yes.
prayers help,
Yes.
right?
Prayers
I know.
all around
I
the
always have
world.
to tell a story. I had my pacemaker. Something went wrong with it, and I had to go get another one. They had to take this one out of some kind of
Oh,
infection or
man.
something. I put it over here. Just last St. Patrick's Day, I was at Lacanau.
Wow.
And after I come out of, I was in the recovery room, and I was, you know, and all of a sudden I heard lullaby and good night.
Oh, my goodness.
Music. You know, I thought, when I'm in heaven, there's music, you know. And suddenly, what's going on? And finally, the nurse come over, and you know, I don't know. I thought it was in heaven. So I said, well, I hear music, you know, lullaby. She says, yeah, every time a baby's born, they play lullaby. I said, okay, I'm okay, baby. You know, come on, let's go.
So you didn't go just yet.
In fact, we're going
It wasn't your time.
and Einstein Hospital, I interviewed the top shelf people the other day, and they're going to do open heart surgery at Einstein now.
Yeah.
Oh,
We don't
okay.
have to go to Philadelphia. You know, it's a lot going on. You know,
That's
there's a
great.
lot going on that
It is.
that hospital has just about everything. You know,
Yes, yes.
so really, now tell me a little bit more now. We named all the things that all the transplant.
The organs that can be
Yeah,
transplanted? Yes.
right.
Yeah, we can go back to your original question, which was, you know, how do you become an organ donor? It's very simple. There's one or two ways that you can become an organ donor. The first and the most common way is that most people wait until their license or state ID is being renewed or issued. So when you go into the PennDOT offices, you would go and, you know, complete your paperwork, and one of the questions that they ask you throughout the process is, do you wish to be an organ donor? And that's one opportunity for you to say yes. So what happens is when you say yes to that question, you will have that designation on your driver's license or state ID. So that is first person consent to saying, you know, in my passing, if I have an opportunity to save somebody's life, I want to do this. And the second way that you can do it is you can actually do it online today. You can visit our website, which is www.donorsone.org. Click on the respective state, and then you walk through a very short, maybe 60-second.
You're pretty knowledgeable. You know that, right?
You go through a
I remember all this stuff.
60-second, you complete probably about 4 or 5 fields, and then you'll go into the PennDOT system, which will also be first-person consent. So those are the 2 ways that you become an organ donor.
And, is there a cost to that or what?
There is zero cost to that. It is absolutely free. The process is super easy. And then you have the opportunity to potentially save somebody's life like Alexis here. So these are the people that we're advocating for. The 113,000 people in the country who are waiting for an organ. Over 90% of them, I would say 90,000, they're waiting for a kidney. That's the most common needed organ.
But not every hospital does that, right?
Most of we work with a good amount, probably about 16 area hospitals within the 3 states that we talked about. Yeah.
We have some top hospitals in this area, the Philadelphia area.
Absolutely. Yeah. Outside of Philadelphia, especially in Philadelphia, it's really top notch as far as organ transplants. So, there are a lot of good hospital partners of ours that do really great work, like Hospital of the University of Pennsylvania.
I wonder now, I'm a Catholic, okay? Now, Protestant, Baptist, Muslim, whatever. Is there any restrictions or say, well, wait a minute, Catholics don't believe that or Protestants don't believe that? Is there any religious stonewalling?
Absolutely not. There's no major religion recognized in the United States that does not support organ and tissue.
In other words, taking some from here to over there?
Absolutely not. I mean, I'm sure certain religions, for instance, like, in the Muslim community, they have specific restrictions as to, if this organ is being taken out of a person, it has to be a life-saving reason for it. So there has to be
not a recreational
Sure,
thing.
not like for, advanced purposes. It's like they want to make sure that you're saving a life. But for the most part, every single major religion in this country believe in the idea of saving somebody's life. It is the highest honor that can be recognized. So, no, there's no religious restrictions.
Do they have, when they take kidneys or whatever, do they have like a storage place to keep them there? Or it just has to be right away, boom?
No, as far as the actual organs.
Because I see sometimes they put them in the airplane, in the box, and they have to run over there.
Yeah, that is one
time frame.
Organs are time sensitive and they do expire. So, every organ, for instance, a heart, you have about 2 hours for it to get, kept a certain way and to get to where it needs to be transplanted. So every organ has a different time limit on it before it has to be transplanted, because after that, it kind of compromises the quality of the organ. But for the most part, the one thing on TV that you do see that does happen is those, those igloo boxes with the ice. That does happen. So immediately after the family gives consent and the organs are recovered, we have teams that go out and help to allocate where the organs go. And there's such a high need. I mean, we're talking within our region in the 3 states we talked about, there's over 6,500 people in our local area who are waiting. So immediately,
how many?
6,500.
Wow, in this area.
In this area. So immediately once the organ is recovered, there's such a high need that there really is no lag time between when that organ is recovered and when it's implanted. So it's almost instantaneously that the organ is implanted once it's taken out of the donor.
When you had to get your heart transplanted, you had to wait a period, or do you don't know where the heart came from?
Well, I do know, but there
you don't have to say the name or anything, but young people, old, young, or what?
Well, I have a friend who got a heart of a 42-year-old, and she's 24 now. Yeah, so I mean, and she's on her 8th year, of having her heart transplant. But there is a waiting list. It goes by blood type. It goes by the size of the organ. Yeah,
right.
It really does have to, line up. The stars have to, all line up for you to have a successful organ transplant.
Yeah.
Alexis,
my daughter's husband's father, he had a heart transplant. I think it's going on. I think 15 or 16 years now. I remember he was in Montgomery Hospital, and I went up to see him, and they were taking him out to, I don't know, Hanneman or someplace, to get the heart transplant. And he's still, but now his kidney's not working too good, but
some
he has
of
to
those
go get that.
anti-rejection medications can affect your other organs.
Yeah. But you all right?
Yeah, definitely. I feel
You
great.
dance and sing?
I feel great. I dance and jump for joy and everything. You know, I'm in the process of taking a couple of public speaking classes now, so that I can, you know, go around the country and speak at other
Yeah.
OPOs. Yeah.
Oh, my
I was
God.
invited to Indiana, Denver, California,
Do
Chicago.
you sing?
No, no, I
I was
don't.
singing, put on my show. I want to sing. Yeah, good body. See what's the naughty, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, this is great, you know, that people,
Yeah.
is there any, I often wonder, does anybody ever try to get in touch with the person, you know, general idea?
As far as
how they
yeah,
work on that?
that does happen.
That's a secret, right?
Well, I wouldn't say a secret. It's confidential. So what happens is
Some people want to know.
most people want to know. Most people do want to know. But the
my
thing
mic
is,
just
we
fell.
do believe in protecting the identity and you know the privacy of the family who made the decision to donate. And of course, they're grieving. They just lost a loved one. So we are very strategic with how we allow recipients and donors to contact each other. Our organization helps to coordinate that. So if one of the party members want to contact the other person, they'll write a letter which will be funneled through us, and we will, you know, blur out their contact information and forward it to, you know, the donor family. And we usually wait for about a year before the correspondence start because we want to allow the person who received the organ some time to heal. And we want to allow the donor family some time to grieve. So we are very strategic with how we allow them to contact each other. But one thing that Alexis brought up that I definitely want to make sure we touch on is who can become an organ donor, right? Really important question. Oftentimes people believe that they're too old, they're too, you know, too young.
That's another thing.
Yeah, there's no restriction. I mean, the oldest organ donor on record, I think was 93
Well, you
years
take
old.
somebody that's 60, 70 years old, you know,
Yeah.
that heart
Oh,
pretty
no,
good. It went
there's-
60 years, so
Sure.
it might be pretty good, right?
Sure, yeah, there's no restriction on age. You know, you can be as old as you want to be. Please designate it on your driver's
It has
license.
to be healthy, though.
Yes.
Sure, there are guidelines as to who can be eligible to be an organ donor, but the most important thing is that you do your part by saying yes on your driver's license or your state ID to organ donation.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there's only 2 medical conditions that preclude someone from becoming an organ donor, and that's HIV and cancer. So if you have diabetes or hypertension, those things are not reasons not to sign up to do this.
Yeah. All right. Now tell me, I know we spent a lot. What do you want people to know about this and how they can help, you know, like a short message?
Sure.
Because I got 2 more people that
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
that are- I
absolutely.
wanna
If
talk.
we can wrap this up
What we're
today,
talking
I
about.
want people to walk away with that organ and tissue donation save lives. It's important. One person can save up to 8 lives. So the most important thing for you to remember is the next time you get your ID, say yes to organ and tissue donation. And if you can't wait, visit our website, donors1.org, and sign up today.
Okay, now we're going to turn over. I got 2 more people that they're going to tell their experiences.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you,
So
Hank.
I want to thank you very much.
Thank you.
And if you learn a couple songs, you come on my show and sing on,
Okay.
you know, for Christmas
Definitely.
show and whatever else, you know.
Definitely.
But you look great, you know.
Thank you, and just thanks to
makes me feel good now. I got a pacemaker. And you know, if I look as good as you, right?
Thank you. And my donor was a boxer also.
What's that?
My donor was a boxer also.
Oh yeah.
Francisco Paco Rodriguez. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're going to go back with 2 of my good friends that are going to come here and they're going to tell their experience. And they had a couple transplants, you know. So, all right, here we go. Okay, we have 2 more people that received help. Okay, and they got new organs placed in there. Okay, so that's one way of saying it. Okay, now. I can't believe, you know, here we are. We just interviewed somebody just had a new heart. Now I have 2 gentlemen here, local guys, and I'm going to introduce them like I do in Madison Square Garden. John Davini, over there, right. Bob McKay, right.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're going to start. I want your stories. I only got 10 minutes, okay? I'm going to give you 5 minutes apiece. I want to tell you, you can tell me, you start off. You first time you got a replacement. Tell me.
In 2000,
Out loud, my hearing aid.
in 2003, I went in the hospital for
What
a
hospital?
heart problem, Phoenixville Hospital.
Phoenixville.
And something was wrong with my heart, a virus or something like that. When I was in there, a doctor came to me and told me he was a gastroenterologist, which takes care of the liver.
The liver.
Yeah, and he said, you got problems with your liver. How comes you're not on the list? I said, I don't want to be on the list. I was 68 years old. I figured
Yeah.
I didn't need it, but he convinced me.
Age didn't. No.
Right. I didn't want to go through it,
Right.
you know, but he convinced me that he would take care of everything while I was
Right.
in there, all the tests I needed to
Right.
do.
Education
Yeah.
removes fear.
Right, and it was a miracle because I opened my mind and I said, okay.
And you got a
all-
liver, you
that's
got a
all I
liver
had to
transplant,
do.
and that was what, in 2005
2003.
and 3.
Yeah, so
Wow.
I ended up getting the liver, and 6 months after I talked to that man, I had a liver, and it was a miracle that I got it. Anyway, I had a great recovery, and I'm thankful for the,
Oh my
the
God.
donors,
Right, right.
the donors, and that.
You don't know who the donors are,
To
right?
donate life.
Yeah, right here, that's what
what-
this whole program's about.
Yeah, what-
We want people that, donate,
Them
You feel
people-
healthy, help somebody else.
They call you up and they'll say, they'll tell you what's wrong with the liver. If there's anything wrong with it, they'll ask you if you want it. Some livers have hepatitis C, and a person with hepatitis C can get a hepatitis C liver, where other people can't take one that has hepatitis
Oh,
C because
okay.
it'll hurt them. But anyway,
Well, how about this kidney? You got a new
The
kidney then?
kidney-
What happened, how long after that?
okay, in 2010, somebody told me through blood work that I was in the last stages of kidney failure. I said, what? I couldn't believe it, that here I was after all this stuff. So I had to bite that bullet, and then I had to go through a whole process because of my age. They didn't
Yeah.
want to.
They didn't want to do it
They
because
didn't
of your
want-
age. How old were you
right.
at that time?
I was 75 or 76.
Wow.
I'm 77 now, and I'll be 78 in May. So I'm almost 78. So it was 2 years ago. Anyway, I was able to, through a stroke of luck, to be able to go through the whole process and got a kidney. And now, it's
So
all,
now you got a liver and a kidney, and
I
they're
got
both,
a liver and a kidney, and really
everything else working all right.
everything's good.
Maybe I'll get you lined up for a 4-round bout in Madison Square Garden, huh? I get somebody that had a liver and a kidney removed, your weight, and then we're gonna, what do you think? And say, in this corner,
I can run.
Rob.
I can run, and I shoot basketball every day.
What's
I play
that?
basketball every day.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Is that, and it don't bother you or anything?
No, I'm good. Like it's perfect.
Good, good.
So-
Well, let me tell you, really
Thank
great,
you.
great. All right, now, my buddy here, John DeVinny's. Now, tell me your story now. Now, you got these sunglasses on there. I understand you just had some surgery?
Yeah, I just had surgery done
And
to
the
my
bright,
eyes.
bright
And
lights here
these
will
lights
hurt.
affect them,
Okay.
yeah.
But you're no
Outside.
big celebrity, you know.
No,
with the,
no,
you know,
no.
You know, what's that, the guy that, Spring String, or the guy,
Spring Stream.
String
Bruce
Beans or something? The guy, yeah, he was the glasses, is that his name,
No.
String Beans?
No.
Or whatever it is, I don't know.
Springfield.
Springfield.
Yeah.
What did they?
Bruce Springfield.
Give him my regards.
no.
Okay, now,
Well,
tell me your story. From the first time that you had any kind of problem, you thought that you went to the doctor and the doctor says, look, you need this, you need that. What's your problem?
well, I never had a problem. I went for a physical. And that's when, through blood work and all, they discovered I had a liver problem. And here I had cirrhosis, but I didn't know it. There was no symptoms. So I got treated for it for 2 years. And it didn't improve, it got worse. And then in 2005, I developed cancer of the liver.
Of the liver.
So they sent, my doctor sent me down to the University of Pennsylvania. And I went through a barrage of testing. And as a result, they said I need a transplant immediately. And I was moved up on the list from, within 30 days, I was transplanted.
That list, sometimes they do it, it's an emergency, they kind of move it
There's
up a little
people
bit,
waiting
yeah.
for years, it's a shame. And I watched them die down there waiting for
Yeah.
a transplant.
Yeah.
But I read high on the MEL score, which is how they rate your condition. And I was one of the high, so I was put up on the top of the list. And in 2005, I received the liver and I was transplanted, and 5 days later, I walked out of the hospital.
No kidding, 5 days?
5 days,
Oh
I
my
walked
God.
out of the
They
hospital.
get you right out of bed the next day, yeah,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Oh,
It's
God.
amazing.
Same thing with my hip replacement. The next day, boom, I'm walking. They made me walk. But all right, now, and then later you got what? Heart? You got a new
Yeah,
valve
and
or
I got,
something?
I
What's
got
the
an
scoop on
aorta
that?
valve replacement. I had open heart surgery, and 5 days later, I
And-
walked out of the hospital.
And the
I-
liver was working okay as long
I
as
haven't had a problem. My rejection drug, I'm down to a 1/2 milligram a day. I mean, it's amazing how my body accepted it,
Let me
and
ask
I
you.
don't have no rejection at all.
Let me ask you. What kind of work did you do prior to all these? Before you?
My last 17, 18 years, I worked at the nuclear power plant.
Where?
At the nuclear power plant.
Oh yeah.
I
Did
would-
that have
yeah.
any effect on it? You think?
Well, they said, you know, I developed hepatitis C, that we don't know how it happened. And from the hepatitis C, I never had no symptoms. They just found out that I had, you know, through ultrasound, that I had a cirrhosis of the liver. And that's when I start getting treated. Yes, I worked with chemicals,
You think maybe
cancer
along the
agency
way,
chemicals. I worked, yeah.
you know, because some of these mills and different things.
Well,
same thing with
asbestos and
the
stuff.
asbestos. You
Right.
know, in the schools and different buildings, asbestos. They had asbestos.
Right.
And I'm just wondering. I was talking to a doctor and was saying that more people have cancer in this southeastern part of Pennsylvania than any place in the United
Yeah.
States.
Yes.
Now I'm just wondering if we don't have a lot of asbestos and all in some of these schools that are 100 years old or so, and the buildings are
Well,
still
I
around.
have, I have a lung disease, asbestosis, that was developed through asbestos, going to schools and, you know,
Right.
back in the 40s and 50s, there was a lot of asbestos
Now,
around.
my brother worked at Goodrich, and he used to work with asbestos and all. And he come over. I lived on on Powell Street. Well, I still live there. And he says, I'll put asbestos around your pipes. It'll keep warm and everything. For some reason or other, says, no, Tony, don't worry about it. You know, don't worry about it. You know. And thank God I didn't. I'd have had asbestos all over the pipes downstairs. What did you do prior to getting all these treatments?
I was painting. I was painting out of the union. So,
Paint?
yeah. So I worked with heavy chemicals too, and industrial. Like I worked at the power plant too. Me and John worked together.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
How about that? At the power plant.
Right.
And you don't
So
think,
we-
you think maybe there's some, I remember when they had a demonstration up, I was a county detective, and they were demonstrating, you know, and we were in the rain, and we had to keep calm because they were protesting against the thing. They didn't want the thing there. Well, let me tell you, you both look good. Like I
Feel
said, I'm
great.
going to get you, I'll call Madison Square Garden and see if we can get you lined up for a 4-round bout up there. But you know, the girl was here earlier, right, Vanessa? She had open heart surgery, but let me tell you, somebody up there is there helping out, whatever it is, you know. So
Absolutely.
God bless you, and Vanessa was here, okay? So ladies and gentlemen, thanks a lot for allowing us to come into your home, and this is an experience, you know, I'm part of it. I'm having this heart, what do you call it, pacemaker, you know, so have 2 hip replacements, right? 2 hearing aids, 2 eyes, things. So, you know, I'm bobbing and weaving. I'm 88 years old. I'm still bobbing and weaving. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for allowing us to come in here, and God bless each and every one of you, okay? Thank you very much.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
My pleasure.
Okay, and don't forget, donate, okay? If you feel good and you want to feel better, you donate and you help someone. Thank you.